worked at a brick and tile works that was 3 miles from our home. Each day, a 6-mile walk was added to the day's work of 12 hours. The work was heavy for a lad of my age. Each brick weighed about 9 pounds. And in the course of a day, I carried several tons of clay bricks. We usually started work at 6 in the morning, when I would pick up the bricks from the floor of the shed. For this, I received 7 shillings a week. My mother said that the work was too hard and the distance too long for me to walk every morning and night. She told me the money would be missed. Someone would have to go short. But it was no use being slowly killed by such work as I was doing, and it was making me humpbacked. It was not until I had been away from the work for several weeks that I was able to straighten myself out again.
In those reminiscences, Will Thorne recalled being a 9-year-old worker in the 1860s. This brickmaking kiln is similar to the one that would have employed Will. And this barrow is like the one that he would have had to move, loaded with bricks. There's 25 bricks here, which would have been a child's load. Adults moved 50. I think I'm supposed to try and move this. Whoa! This isn't easy. Oh. It's not easy at all! The bricks I've just smashed were made here, at Bliss Hill Victoria Museum by Tony Mugridge, the last independent travelling brickmaker in Britain. Well, I'm standing back here out of the splatter path because this is kind of messy here. But Tony, we're interested in how they managed to get round the child labour legislation in the brick fields then and maintain children's employment.
There's a very clever thing. What would happen is that the people would be employed, that is the workers, men and women in the brick fields, they would be employed by the brickmaker. But if the brickmaker employed children, he'd be breaking the law. So what he did was he employed the people to employ their own children. And by doing it that way, they got around it all.
And what kind of jobs did the kids do then?
What they would do is the children would be preparing the clay down in the soak pit over there, and then they would pick the clay up and carry it to the workbenches. The clay is very heavy, you know, a lump like this.
I believe you. I believe you.
Yes. But we are probably talking, you know, somewhere in the region of 12 to 14 pounds weight there in clay. By the time they're 8, 9 and 10, they're able to move the brick barrows easily, and then by the time they're sort of 11 and 12, they're making bricks.
Will is a great example of how the child workers were far bolshier than we give them credit for. He first went on strike at the ripe old age of 6. Not surprisingly, he grew up to be a union leader and then later a Member of Parliament. He enjoyed a distinguished career until he retired in 1946, aged 84. The industrial generation powered Britain's journey towards wealth and influence, and then set about improving the lot of those youngsters who followed on behind. As that generation grew up, they began to organise into trade unions and to campaign for changes in employment law. As a result, kids started to disappear from the workplace, and slowly Parliament began to back a new solution to the problem of what to do with the children. School. Labour is replaced by learning, and childhood becomes defined by a new rite of passage, education. By the end of the 19th century, school leaving age provides a clear boundary and one enshrined in law.